Okay, everyone. So some of you may remember in a community post from a few weeks ago, I had stated that the 2019 Hisense dehumidifier, the pump had failed on it. I do admit I was actually wrong about that. What had happened was there was apparently one problem. So this used to be in the main area, as you know, with the tube going into the pipe here. Let me show you. Right here. Okay, and the pump was pumping, but not much was happening. Well, as it turns out, the pump itself was actually fine. The problem was there was actually sediment on the end of the tube, and because of the sediment on the end of the tube, the water wasn't going anywhere, and the pump couldn't pump, so it stopped, and you get the idea. But there was also a filter on here, which I'll show you. The tube currently goes right here into the sink. My brother and I installed this sink back in June, and that was actually a fun evening we were having doing this. You can see the tube for the pump right here, okay? And then after we had cleaned it out and put it on here, the pump ran, the water came out, so, you know, for now it's doing okay. But there is one difference between the 2019 Hisense and the 2017 one. You know, that's the one that lost its refrigerant. There's apparently a filter in here. Let me try to get this bucket out of here. Just bear with me. Okay. Here we go. If you look right here, I have to tilt the camera because I have the monopod. You see this thing right here? That's apparently some sort of filter that the pump has. Now, I don't want to take that out because if I do, there's going to be water coming out of there. But yeah, there's apparently a filter on there, and that apparently was all like, you know, gummed up and whatever. So, you know, between that being all clogged up and the end of the tube being clogged up, that's why there was a problem. Now, again, that is all fixed, but, you know, given the other Hisense, how long will this dehumidifier go for? You know, we don't know. Time's going to tell. So, let me show you the other one quickly. Put this back in here. There we go. Okay. So here's that 2017 one, the one that iced up, if you remember. You still haven't gotten rid of it yet. So I'll take the bucket out of this one. Okay. And if you notice, yeah, see, same thing, or different. See, there's no filter compartment there. So, and this is where it would normally drain out of into the bucket. So, yeah, I guess that was one kind of improvement they made, you know, from 2017 to 2019. But in terms of longevity, like I said, we're going to see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one back in. Okay. So let me see if I turn this one on. I think it might force the pump to run, and you should be able to see some water come out of there, provided there is actually water to pump. Let's see. So we'll turn this one back on. I don't think it ran. All right. Well, even so, if you look at the sink, you can see how it looks kind of wet here. So the pump is working, like I said now. So there is water coming out of here. So the 2019 Hisense dehumidifier so far is doing okay. Again, it's only less than a year old, so you know we're going to have to see what happens down the road. Is it going to lose refrigerant like its older one? Time will tell. But since this one is in the workshop now, let me go ahead and show you what's in the main area. So here, what has taken the place of the 2019 Hisense. This is a 2020 unit, obviously, made by GE, as you can see. Usual stuff: electronic control, low efficiency, and you know your usual stuff. Now, are there some things I like about this over the Hisense? There are. First thing is, I do kind of like the white display, which is kind of interesting. It definitely does flicker. I mean, Jay, I'm moving my head left and right, and I can easily see the flicker there. It gives you, you know, your usual power, 3 fan speeds. It's on medium, and the pump option as well. You saw that white tube going in there before. Now, there is one thing I do like about this dehumidifier over the Hisense, and that is, right now we have the dehumidifier set to 45%, and you can see here it says 45%. Now, unless the ambient humidity goes over that, this does not run at all. Okay, we were down here for 2 hours, I'm going to say it was on Saturday, and we had it set to 45, and the ambient humidity was 40, and this did not run at all. So I'm definitely going to give it that in terms of, a pro over the Hisense, because the Hisense would cycle on and off all the time. This one seems to stay off if the humidity level is satisfied. Okay, now that is certainly a good thing. Now, some other things I kind of do like too is, if you remember on the Hisense ones, let me go back in here, the inlet for the fan on both of them is on the back here, as you can see. Whereas on this one, it's kind of on the front. You know, there's a thing here, and there's also a thing here as well. So it is kind of good in the sense that, you know, you're trying to get the air from around this general area and not by the wall. So it makes sense that it's kind of over there. Although it is kind of weird how they have it on the sides here and not directly on the front, you know what I'm saying? And when this thing runs, you do feel a good amount of suction on each side of this. Now, unfortunately, I've since given Jay's anemometer back to him, so I can't really show you what it pulls, but let me tell you, when you put your hands on here, you definitely do feel like a flow, you know what I'm saying? And, oh, just turned on. Oh yeah. Now, some of the cons, as you can see, that went from 45 to 50, so it does it in increments of 5, whereas the Hisense does by 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little hard, or a little bit more strict, if you want to call it that. Now, some other cons too is that in order to get the filter out of this, on the Hisense one, you simply pull a panel off the back, and there's the filter. You take it off, clean it, and do whatever you got to do. But on this GE one, what you have to do is you have to take the bucket out, okay, and then you pull the filter down from here, and you can just take it out, clean it, and whatever, because that's where it goes into right there. Hold on, let me get a shot of that. Right there, you can kind of see the filter right there. So you have to take the bucket out, pull it down, and then clean it off, put it back in, put the bucket in. So it's going to interrupt operation and things like that. And with these electronic units, who knows if that's. Who knows if it's significant, but still kind of it could be a hassle. You never know. Now, of course, obviously, none of these are as good as the 1987 Kenmore I have, but in terms of, comparisons between each one, this does seem to be a better one compared to the Hisense. But we'll have to see how both these do, because these days you never know. And there is a sight glass or a viewing slot, if you want to call it that, for the water level. But like I said, since he has the pump going, that really shouldn't fill up. And, of course, we'll occasionally check the tube now to make sure that there's no buildup or anything like that. I mean, I guess that's about it. I mean, same thing. The air kind of goes up here. Although we don't have it too close to the wall because we have a thermostat right here, so we're trying to keep that away. That's a 120-volt mechanical thermostat. He has a couple of electric baseboard heaters over there that are attached to this, so... I will admit, though, it doesn't give off a lot of heat, which is okay. And like I said, I do like it in the sense that they kind of come more towards the front, but I don't like the fact that you really have no way of taking off this panel. So if you want to see what the filter looks like or what the evaporator even looks like, the filter you can take off by taking out the bucket, but the evaporator, kind of hard to see. And I'm a little skeptical about why they would make it that way. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess, it is what it is. So this one's doing okay. So this is the 2020 GE. And oh yeah, one other thing. I do like, though, that they have the plug like the Kenmore is. The plug goes down instead of out. I do like that more than, coming out like this. So I will give it that as well. But the Hisense also has a handle on here, which is nice. These you got to hold by the sides. I'll show you the handle. Here's this one. And here's the handle on this one. See, so it does kind of have that, and you can see 48%. So I mean, you can tell that this has not as much of a strict display as the GE does. But yeah, I mean, for what it is still working, and obviously we'll see how long that lasts because of what happened with the 2017 one. So for now, I guess there you have it, guys. So. It is working, has refrigerant, the pump works, and this one is good in terms of it only runs when it has to, whereas the Hisense one cycles a lot more. So there you guys go. Thought I'd give you another video on another modern dehumidifier. And actually, before I go, I'm sure some of you are going to ask me, well, why did he just get another modern one? Well, I mean, he wants one with a pump. I don't know any vintage one that has that. Plus, he wants what he wants. So, And even if I could get him a vintage one, it would probably take a while for it to get here. So, whatever, no big deal. So, it's his money, not mine. So, okay, you get the idea. So there it is. The 2019 Hisense is still working okay. We'll see for how long. And here's that new 2020 GE, and we'll see how they go down the road. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.